Well, I think the answer was that we are changing, but nowhere near fast enough. And the main difficulties in responding to climate change is twofold. It's firstly personal resistance to changing one's lifestyle, particularly if you are comfortable, and clearly the industries that rely on fossil fuels, which will always push back against any change. But I think the conclusion was that there is change, but at both levels there has to be quicker change.
And what is being done locally? Can you give us some of the ideas of how Gibraltar is tackling the climate crisis?
Well, we have our climate change strategy, which is currently being reviewed and is being reviewed to tweak it after COP28. We have our Climate Change Act. We have the 25-year Environment Plan, which is about to be published, which reflects a lot of this and tries to send this very message that we really have to step up the rate at which we improve the way we live for the benefit of the environment, but obviously for our own health and our own survival.
And in terms of the practical application of the strategy and that act?
Well, we need to look at how we live ourselves as individuals, and one of the sections in the 25-year plan will look at climate literacy so that we all conscious and aware of our own personal impact. And I think that is critical. And we're also looking at firms, agencies, government departments to look at their own carbon profile to see how we can improve it. Clearly, it is a small fraction of the global, but all of us have to make a change if we're going to have a chance of success.
And in terms of Gibraltar's sort of industry and infrastructure, for example, a large pillar of Gibraltar's economy is bunkering.
In general, I see that the private sector in Gibraltar is stepping up, and I'm getting lots of businesses coming to me with their own plans, proposals, looking for support. Clearly, they're going to get it. Bunkering specific is something in which Gibraltar can have limited effect. Because, as I've often said, if we stop bunkering here today, it's probably going to go across the bay or across the strait, and we have had no positive impact. What we have to do, and I saw this at COP, there is now a global initiative from the maritime industry to clean up its act. They are already thinking that in the next 20, 25 years, fossil fuels that are used will probably be LNG, which are less polluting, and will likely be moving to other alternatives like ammonia, which are not carbon based. So that is going to happen, and the maritime industry is going to put pressure on the ports to be up and primed for that. So what Gibraltar has to do is to keep up to all international activity, to respond to what the global industry is proposing, because otherwise we are going to be left behind and other ports will succeed. So I'm confident that the port of Gibraltar will be right up there with all the modern ports in order to respond with what the maritime industry is already doing, because they are conscious of their social responsibility, their environmental responsibility. So I'm confident that that will happen.